ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. I'll be honest, I've missed being with all of you. It's been 2 weeks, but I'm impatient because the particular episode where we are is exciting. It is full of juice and story and fascination, and of course, the glory of Hanumanji. So, anyway, we are here. We will be going through chapter 53 of the Sundara Kanda today. As much as Sri Ramachandra allows, we'll see how far we can get in the chapter. My goal is to, I guess, go through the entire chapter, but let's see. For this week and next week, there is a verse that I posted on our WhatsApp group, which is a meditation verse on Sri Hanumanji. A famous verse, powerful verse, and assuring us of Hanumanji's presence, his support, and giving his strength to us through difficult times. And the verse goes this way. Ulanghya sindho salilam salilam yashokavahnim janakatmajaya adaya tenev dadaha lankam namamih pranjaliranjaneyam. We'll start with the last line and go up. Namami Anjaneyam. I offer my obeisances, my prayers, my regards to Anjaneyam, the son of Anjana Devi, that is Sri Hanumanji. And how do I offer that? I meditate on him, and as I'm offering my obeisances and I remember him, my two hands are in this posture, Pranjalir. And the reason I offer my respects, obeisances to Hanumanji is because he did something very fascinating. Ulanghya sindho salilam. Salilam sindho, the ocean of water. Ulanghya, he jumped over. And how much work was it? Was it difficult for him? Was it an activity of great effort? No, salilam. Salilam. Leela means to play or playful. Salilam means with, as if he was playing. It was so easy. Difference between work and play is that work requires effort. Play is not. Play is you have so much fun. You don't feel a sense of, oh my God, it's so difficult. Salilam. Sindho, Salilam, Sindho, Salilam. And then Yaha, he who, that Hanuman who, Yah Shoka Vahnim Janakatmajayaha. Janakatmaja, the daughter of King Janaka, she was burning with Shoka Vahini. She was burning with the fire of lamentation. She was burning with the fire of separation in love from Sri Ramachandra. So he took the embers from that fire of separation. Because who separated Sita and Ramachandra? Ravana. So from that fire, he took some embers, adaya teneva. Adaya, daya means to give, adaya means to take. Adaya teneva. From that fire, he himself took embers or little sparks of it, adaya teneva, and then dadaha lanka. With that embers, he burnt the entire Lanka. Namami Pranjalir Anjaneyam. The reason this verse is important is this chapter and the next chapter is all about fire. And the role fire plays and how it is invoked and all of that. So we'll talk about some backdrop stuff. However, Lanka got burnt down because we might say Hanuman's tail was on fire. So Hanuman burnt Lanka down. Yes, that's a true statement. Hanuman burnt Lanka down, or his tail was on fire because Ravana lit the fire on Hanuman's tail, or Ravana set Hanuman's tail ablaze. So that fire is Ravana's fire that burnt Lanka. So that's also a true statement. However, an even more true statement is that although the fire was lit by Ravana, although the tail of Hanuman touched all of Lanka and burnt it down, but the fire came from Sita Devi's lamentation. To light an agarbatti, an incense stick, or a lamp, or anything else in the house, you have to have an original lamp. That's called a Mani Deepika. That was small. From that lamp, everything is lit. So the source lamp is there. Yeah, many of us, most of us from India, during Deepavali, if you want to light firecrackers, fireworks, you have to have a source of light. In fact, even the big, the loud sounding bombs, as they call it, or the colorful things that go into the sky and burst into beautiful colors and combinations, is lit by an incense stick, and that incense stick is lit by something else, by a candle mostly. So, Yah Shoka Vahanim Janakatmajaya. So that's the fire of separation. And we'll talk about fire in a moment, but let's get to at this rate, I won't get to the pastime, or I won't even get to there. So chapter 53. In 52, Vibhishana did not allow Ravana, he advised, please don't kill the messenger because Shastra does not allow. The great people would not look upon you favorably. Ravana in this chapter begins with Tasya tadvachanam shrutva dashagrivo mahatmanaha desha kala hitam vakyam bhratur uttaram abravit. Mahatmanaha. Vibhishana is the Mahatman. Ravana heard the very appropriate, apt, sage, wise, full of meaning according to time and circumstance. Desha Kala Hitam. Very suitable for the appropriate and suitable and appropriate for the circumstance. When Ravana heard those words of his brother, the great soul Vibhishana, Uttaram Abravit, he responded this way. And he appreciated Vibhishana. He said, Samyag Yuktam hi bhavata. What you have spoken is very suitable. Duta Vadhya Vigarhita. If I kill the messenger, Vigarhita, it will be seen by others, by the sages and the Brahmins, as deplorable. Avashyam tu vadhanya kriyatamasya nigraha. Okay, instead of killing him, we will mete him out proper punishment. Somebody's mic is on. Okay, there you go. So he said, with the rightful punishment, and he looked at Hanuman, who was a Vanara. He looked at all of his ministers and members and Vibhishana. And he said, Kapinam kila langulyam ishtam bhavati bhushanam. Surely monkeys are very fond of the ornament that they have called their tail. They think it's very good looking on them. Therefore, if he likes his tail so much, tadasya deepyatam shigram, immediately, quickly light his tail on fire. Tena dagdhena gachatu, and let him go with his tail burning. Oh, suddenly all of the persons in his court said, oh, wow, what a punishment. And Ravana said, then he can go back to where he came from, go to his friends, go to his relatives, and show himself in this disfigured way. Because, for most people, let's say their face or their eyes or some element of their beauty is something that they like to share with their friends and family when people say, oh, you look good. But if there is some physical damage, or then it is a little embarrassing. In this case, the monkey, a monkey which is very proud of its tail, when the tail is completely burnt and disfigured and becomes handicapped, then everyone else will look at him and say, oh, we should not mess with Ravana because it'll be the same situation with us. In movies, we see that the rowdies on behalf of the villain will come and break down the house or something for a family that has dared to speak up against the villain. And by making that an example, everyone else in the village or the area will not raise a voice because they're afraid this will also happen to us. So let him go that way. So then all the Rakshasa followers got Hanuman. He was already tied up, remember? He was tied up and Hanuman let it be. They wrapped old cloth around his tail. And as they tied, and this cloth was wet or soaking in ghee or some sort of oil, some fuel, some medium. And as they were wrapping his tail, Hanuman's size was growing. So as the Hanuman's size was growing, more and more cloth was being wrapped around his tail. And at the very end of his tail, they lit it up and there was fire. And so that end of the tail caught on. And while this tail is burning, it's like a ghee wick, if you will, because a ghee wick is full of ghee. It is tightly wound. And when you light it, it's not like the whole ghee wick burns immediately. It starts burning from the top as there is fuel. And as the fuel gets consumed, it burns further down. So Hanuman's tail is like a ghee wick now. It's lit up. With Hanuman wrapped up and tied up, the Rakshasas took him on a parade throughout the streets of Lanka. And while Hanuman's tail is on fire, Valmiki says that Hanuman's face was also bright red at this point, like the rising sun. Langulyena pradiptena rakshasa rakshasam rakshasams tan panayat. So as they were taking him, Rosham Harsha Paritatma Bala Surya Samananaha. His face looked like the bright sun at the morning when it is just rising. Now, as they were parading Hanuman through the streets, it became such a scene that everybody, the residents of Lanka, came out to their balconies, to their front doors. They were peeping out of their windows. They came on their terraces, and women, children, elderly, they all were looking down with delight. It was something very comical. It was such an interesting scene that they all came out looking at Hanuman with his tail set on fire. Now, Hanuman has been paraded. He's thinking something. So Valmiki tells us what Hanuman is thinking. Hanuman said, hmm, you know, none of these Rakshasas is capable enough to bind me with ropes. I've allowed it to happen. I'm going to jump up into the sky and break off these. They think that they are binding me and taking me here and there. Actually, I'm going along with them because of the order of my master. In this case, it means both either Sugriva or Sri Ramachandra, either is fine. And so I am strong enough to kill all of them in battle single-handedly. I'm just tolerating this humiliation to make Sri Ramachandra happy. Why? I will get to see Lanka all over again. When a devotee is humiliated by somebody, as a human being, the tendency might be to immediately retort with something, either defending oneself or angrily saying something. It's human nature. Hanumanji is teaching us that when somebody is on a mission on behalf of the Supreme Lord, even humiliation needs to be tolerated a little bit, or at least tolerated. If little bit or some whatever bit can be tolerated. Because in that toleration, new insights of how to be able to help the persons on for whom this mission is anyway. I remember the devotees in the early times of Prabhupada's Leelas. They would go through the streets of New York and other places, and they would be dressed in yellow robes, shaved heads, women in saris that looked like curtains or bed sheets. That's what people would say. And they would be chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And people would heckle them and tease them, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. My spiritual master shares a very wonderful story. that when they were in New York, regularly from the neighbors, the young people would tease them as they would walk, as the devotees would walk through the streets and come into the temple singing Hare Krishna. They would all stand along the side of the streets and heckle at them, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, like that. And sometimes in the night, they would create what is called Molotov uh, cocktails or Molotov bombs. There was a bottle of alcohol with a wick of or cloth in it, dipped in it, and the cloth lit, and they would throw that bottle. So when the bottle explodes, because of the alcohol in it, it catches on a bigger fire. It's called Molotov cocktail. And they would throw it into the temple. So many, many years later, let's say 20, 30 years later, one time my spiritual master was going through an airport. He was standing at the line, and there was a person in another line next to him or right behind him. And he said, excuse me, are you a Hare Krishna? And Maharaj said, yeah, I have. He said, I grew up in New York. And when I was younger, some of you used to live in an ashram or a building next to us. And I just want you to know that I am very, very sorry for all the teasing and heckling and mean things that we did to the devotees. And Maharaj was thinking, you were outside that building, I was inside this building. But at that time, the devotees tolerated it. Now, everyone doesn't have to tolerate this way, but he narrates the story. The devotees tolerated because for them, they only thought that we are on a mission on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Hanuman is thinking, I will go through this because I will get to see Lanka. Because when I saw Lanka thoroughly last time, it was night time. Ratrau nahi sudrushtaha me durga durga karma vidhanatah. Last time when I was searching for Sita Devi, it was at night time. So in the night, I didn't get to see all the details. Avashyameva drashtavya maya lanka nishakshaye. So Nisha Akshaya, at the end of the night, or now that the night has gone away, in bright sunlight, I can see all the secrets of Lanka. It's good. That way I can go and report back to Sugriva. Okay, the demons are torturing me. Okay, by setting my tail on fire, that's okay. Right now, I'm not exhausted, I'm not tired. Na me asti manasashramaha. My mind is not fatigued. I'm not feeling, oh, that I cannot tolerate this anymore. I can tolerate this. Let me go around. So this Hanuman, who Valmiki refers to as the elephant among monkeys, Kapikunjaram, meaning he was big, massive, strong looking. His tail is on fire. He's being paraded, and everybody is joyfully clapping and celebrating this torture. And as if it were some yatra, they brought their instruments, their bugles, conch shells, drums, and they were making music as they were parading Hanuman through the city of Lanka. And Hanuman happily followed them throughout and taking notes and reading. Uh, Valmiki says Hanuman saw the big, mighty mansions, the buildings, the layout of the city, the layout of the street, the map. He was mapping the whole place in his mind. He saw how big the buildings were, the highways, the streets, the by lanes, the alleys, the layout of the buildings, whose houses were where, were there any secret routes, uh, is there any possibility for uh, tunnels and secrets? All of that he was gathering and mapping while they're all frolicking and enjoying the torture. And they were all shouting, heckling, yes, burn him. He's a spy. Burn him. He has entered our village, our city this way. He needs to be tortured. Yeah, very good. Do it. Do it. The children, the women, the aged people, they all came out and they were amused as they were seeing Hanuman's tail ablaze. Now, Valmiki says at this time, one of the Rakshasis went and informed Sita Devi. So we may think that this is happening in a serial manner, meaning for a long time Hanuman's tail is burning. One of the Rakshasis went and told Sita. It's a book. So we understand that as soon as Hanuman's tail was lit up on fire and there was this tumultuous wow sound, one of the Rakshasis told Sita. So it's happening parallelly. दीप्यमाने ततस्तत्र लाङ्गुल्य अग्रेण हनुमतः. Agrena, the tip of the tail. Hanumatah, of Hanuman. Rakshasyastata Virupakshya, a disfigured, ugly looking Rakshasi. She went to Sita Devi and conveyed this unpleasant news. Apriyam Devyastad Apriyam Samshu. Samshu is narrated this displeasing or unpleasing news, unpleasant news to Sita Devi. Now, this is the greatness of Mother Sita. She herself is in immense torture for the past 10 months. She herself is going through this severe pain and torment of separation from Ramachandra. Her pain is so big. Yet, she is not absorbed in her pain. She's concerned about Hanuman. And the Rakshasi told, you know that monkey who came and was speaking with you is now being paraded all through the streets with his tail on fire. As soon as Sita Devi heard this, Shrutva tad vachanam kruram atmapaharane namam. Sita Devi was in this condition where she is aware of the cruel nature of Ravana because of her abduction. Vaidehi shoka santaptaha hutashanam upagatam. Beautiful set of verses from here on. So hear carefully and visualize it. Vaidehi shoka santapta. She is burning. Hanuman's tail is burning. Sita Devi is burning with shoka, with sadness, with lamentation. Yet, hutashanam upagatam. She invoked the fire god. Huta ashanam. Huta means offering. Ashanam, one who eats. So fire, another name for Agni is Hutashana because he eats whatever offerings we make. And Valmiki offers the name as Vaidehi. He doesn't say Sita, Vaidehi, because she is the daughter of the king of Videha. He got the name Videha, means without a body. He's such a great person that forever he got the name Videha, means he has no bodily conception of life. And Vaidehi is because she is his daughter. Right now, she is beyond the bodily conception of life. What is the bodily conception? My own suffering is minimal or absent when I see the suffering of others. This is Vaidehi. Although Shoka Santapta, she is burning with lamentation, but her attention is on Hanuman, and therefore she invoked the Agni Devata, Utashanam Upagatam. And she says, Mangalabhimukhi tasya sa tadasin mahakapehe upasthe vishalakshi prayata havyavahanam. So first we heard the name of Agni as Hutashanam, Now the next name of Agni is Havya Vahanam. Havya is the offerings. Havish. Vahanam. He's the one who carries it to Lord Vishnu. So she invoked Agni Devata within her heart. And with what intention? Mangala Abhimukhi, with a disposition of welfare for Hanuman. Tada, Tada Asin Mahakape. She's thinking about the welfare of Hanuman. Suddenly, she's not thinking about her own sadness. And so, when she invoked the fire god within her heart, these are 4 verses. So, these 5 verses, this one plus 4, are considered the highlight, fantastic verses within this section of Sundara Kanda, because it is selfless. It is, we'll come to the inner meanings. It is selfless. It is for the welfare of someone else, especially for those who have brought her the good news. And she cannot tolerate the pain and suffering of others. So she says to Agni Deva, Yad asti patish sushushaya, yad asti charitam tapaha. Yadi chasye kapitve, yadi chastyeka patni vratam shito bhava hanumata. The last pada of the shlokas are Shito Bhava Hanumata. May it become cold for Hanuman. May it become cooling for Hanuman. Shito Bhava Hanumata. For Hanuman, may it become cooling. Shita. Where do we hear the word Shita? In Bhagavad Gita, for example, chapter 2, text 14, Krishna says, Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya, Shita Ushna Sukha Dukkhada. Shita, cooling. Ushna, hot, or winter and summer. Sukha Dukkhada, they give pleasure and distress. Agama Apayino Nityaha, Samstitikshasva Bharata. Winter and summer come and go, and all you can do is tolerate it, because that's just the nature of life. So happiness and distress are also meant to be just tolerated. So she says, Yad asti pati shushushaya. If at all I have conducted my life simply as a servant of Sri Ramachandra, Pati. Now, Pati in general means husband. So for a chaste wife, Pati shushushaya. If I have been a wonderful partner and support for my husband, but in case Ramachandra is the Pati for all of us. So this verse is applicable to us also. Pati shushushaya. Yad asti charitam tapaha. And if I have conducted myself according to tapasya, means I've been austere. Austerity doesn't necessarily mean like Hiranyakashipu standing on one leg and not breathing. That is very intense tapasya. Krishna doesn't recommend that. But here he says, tapasya means that I willfully stayed within the boundaries of dharma. Yadi cha ekapatnitvam, that I have been conducting myself in such a way that Ramachandra does not seek or desire another wife. If all of these conditions I have met, Shito Bhava Hanumata, let the benefit go to Hanuman. Let it be cooling for him. Please don't burn him. Then, Yadi Kinchid Anukroshaha Tasya मयस्ति धीमतः यदि वा भाग्यशेषो मे शीतो भव हनुमत. यदि किंचित अनुक्रोशो अस्ति मया अस्ति धीमतः, if Ramachandra has even the little bit of compassion for me. Now in this case, when it means if, it doesn't mean she has a doubt. It means Ramachandra has compassion for me. That compassion that he has shown me, and if there's anything good in my, or any fortune that I have, yadi va bhagya shesho me, because all my fortune has been burnt away. The only fortune is I'm still alive. If whatever is remaining, Shito Bhava Hanumata, let that be for the benefit of Hanuman. May it be cooling for him. यदि वा वृत्तसम्पन्ना तत्सा मङ्गललालसां तत्सा sorry तत्समागमलालसां sorry स विजानाति धर्मात्मा शीतो भव हनुमता. If Ramachandra is Vritta Sampanna, he is endowed with the best quality of being dharmic. Okay. If my mind has always been pure, and that I am longing to be with Ramachandra because I've been pure. If I have been pure in my mind about my wanting to be united with Sri Ramachandra, which means not even once have I liked Lanka, have I liked Ravana, I've liked my situation, nothing. I've been constantly for 10 months crying, praying, when will I be united with Sri Ramachandra? And if that is pious or is that considered a good character? Let the benefit be for Hanuman. Shito Bhava Hanumata. If it is true that Sugriva has promised Sri Ramachandra that he will fight with or on the side of Ramachandra to rescue me from this ocean of misery, then let it be cool for Hanuman. Shito Bhava Hanumata. Now, because of her prayer, for the benefit of others, sometimes we ask, if I pray, will it benefit someone else? Yes. Sita Devi is praying for Hanuman. So what was the effect? Um, this flame, as it was, she has invoked within her heart, in her mind, the steady flame that was there, because Krishna says, a yogi's mind is steady like a windless lamp. Suddenly, it seemed like the fire had moved in her mind. So she took it as a sense of auspiciousness and safety for Hanuman. So that was the first indication for her. Oh, the fire god has heard my prayers. Hanumana Janak Chapi Puchan Puchan Alayu Puchan Layuto Nilaha Vavau Swasthya Karo Devyaha Praleya Nisha Shitalaha. Now, Vayudeva, who was there, was blowing cool winds as if it had come from a snow-peaked mountain. So Sita Devi, who's sitting in that forest, felt a cool breeze touching her. And it calmed the mind of Sita Devi, which told her that, oh, Agni and Vayu are now helping Hanuman. So while Hanuman's tail is burning, Hanuman is wondering, I'm walking all through the streets of Lanka. I'm able to focus and figure out all the secrets of Lanka, but I don't feel any heat. I don't feel burning. How is that possible? This huge fire at the end of my tail is not burning me. In fact, it feels like there is a cold ice pack on me. And this fire has not gone beyond the tip of my tail. Remember, as a ghee wick, a lamp only burns at the tip because of the ghee and oil that's there. What must be the reason? What would a very strong person consider that if they are going through a difficulty, and nothing has affected them, it is a possibility to think that I'm very strong, I'm very capable. Even when a person is not capable, he or she is capable of thinking like that, but not Hanuman, who's actually so strong that he can finish the entire Lanka all by himself. Where was his mind? He said, Athava tadidam vyaktam yadrushtam plavatamaya Rama prabhavad ascharyam parvata parvata saritam patav. So he says, it's not burning, and it is not because of my own strength. It is Rama Prabhava. It is the effect of the influence of Sri Ramachandra. He is the Lord, and it is His mercy upon me that something so Ascharyam. Have you ever wondered why the word Ascharya means surprise or amazement? Charyam means behavior. Ascharya. When you say that's a great surprise. So that word is called Ascharyam. Charyam iti Ascharyam. So he said, there is no surprise because even before I came to Lanka, I saw some amazing things happening. So I'm not surprised that Ramachandra's Prabhava, he's there on Mount Prasavana. I am here in Lanka, yet the influence of the Lord is so amazing. And what was that not so surprising or amazing things? He said, the amazing thing was, I'm not surprised, but I have seen fascinating things that jumping over a massive ocean and suddenly from the ocean, a mountain arises. I mean, who has seen a mountain show up? First of all, are there mountains inside an ocean? And that mountain shows up, Parvatam, Saritam Patav. Saritam Patav is the ocean. Sarita is ponds. A pond is called a Sarita. And Sarita Patav is the ocean. So I saw a mountain rising from the ocean. That is the most amazing thing anybody could have seen. It is Rama Prabhava. And Mainaka and the ocean together wanted to serve Ramachandra. If that fascinating event can happen, what is this fire? What can this fire do? Ramartha Sambhramastada. They were so eager to serve Ramachandra. So Agnir, Kim Karishyati, what can this fire do to me? It's not just Ramachandra. Sitayaschа Andrusham Sena Tejasa Raghavasya cha. So Ramachandra's Tejas, Ramachandra's power, and Sitaya's Andrusham Sena. Andrushamsa means not cruel character. Nrushamsa means cruel, heartless, insensitive. These are the words Dasharath Maharaj used for Kaikeyi. Nrushamsa, that you're so apathetic, you're so cruel. And Anrushamsa is the opposite of it. Very compassionate, kind, loving. So Ramachandra's power, Sita Devi's kindness and wonderful character. When these two are together, any miracles can happen in anybody's life. And because of that, my father, Vayudeva, along with Agni, are not burning me. So when Ramachandra and Sita Devi's influence comes through, even the demigods support such a person. Things can, otherwise that would happen, don't happen. At this time, Hanuman had another thought. And suddenly, all this while, he's walking through the streets of Lanka. He has done his duties. He has a full map of the secrets of Lanka in his mind. And suddenly shot up in the air and shouted loudly. And that jump that he made, he went back. Remember, he always goes back to that gate from where he would see and fight with all of the Rakshasas. He now stood there and looked from there. And the gate was massive gate. From there, he looked at all the Rakshasas. And with that loud shout, they all were caught by surprise. And suddenly, from this mountain-like size, he came back to his small size. So the ropes that he was tied with became loose and fell off. And suddenly, he became massive like a mountain again. And from there, he looked around and he saw this mighty iron rod that he could use as a club. We say gada. Although the word is not gada, it's called parigham. Parigha. Parigha is like similar to a gada, but a iron weapon. He picked that up. And with that, he started smashing and killing all the Rakshasas one after the other. Enough is enough. I mean, how dare you capture Hanuman? And so Hanuman just smashed all of the Rakshasas one after the other. He became so fearsome. And he just smashed all the Rakshasas around him and looked at Lanka. And then he looked at his tail. It was on fire. He looked at Lanka. He looked at his tail. And you know what he's thinking. And Hanuman himself is shining like the sun. And just the way the tail that was behind him, the effulgence of the tail made Hanuman shine just like the sun, which has his effulgence around him, the sunshine. So Hanuman looked like that. What is he going to do with it is what we'll hear next time. This section of verses where Sita Devi says, Shito Bhava Hanumata, Govinda Raja and other acharyas explain that because Hanuman is Guru and Sita Devi is playing the role of a jiva, a pure soul, it is important, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, when he gives the list 20 qualities of Jnanam, Prabhupada says that there are two that are most important. Is Ananya Bhakti Yoga for Lord Vishnu or Krishna. And the second is Acharya Upasanam. One must worship the spiritual master who's as good as the Supreme Lord. And so these verses are her or the Jiva's glorification and prayer for the welfare of the Acharya. When a living entity, whether they're alive or not alive, the contribution they make to the world is either minimum, minuscule, or insignificant. Perhaps no value at all. In fact, they only drain the resources of the world. But when great persons, the great acharyas, walk the surface of the earth, they benefit not only humanity, but the entire earth. And we're just saying earth, although it is the entire universe is benefited by their presence. So it behooves the jiva to offer prayers and well-wishing for the vardhatam, as the safety and the increase in the glory of the acharya. And that there should not be any impediments in their vision. And that's what Sita Devi has done. She has done Acharya Stuti. for Sri Hanuman. From a human perspective, a person who brought her one message, she has become so grateful that she is offering her Pativratam, her entire chastity, her devotedness to Ramachandra, the benefits or merits of her austerity, and anything that is good that she has accumulated for herself, she's offering for the benefit of Hanuman. So her gratitude is very, very strong. So let's see if you have any questions or comments. We have about 8 or 9 minutes. You like the story? You like the chapter?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is with Lakshman.
Yes,
Thank you so
Prabhu.
much for a nice class.
I'm just reciting the verses. We can all thank Valmiki for making it so descriptive.
But you're unlocking it as well.
Uh,
I have two comments, Prabhuji. One is you did mention that Ravana was conscious that the sages may not approve of him killing Hanuman, who was a messenger. And this is such a contrast to his other actions, wherein he just didn't care for anything that others thought he was way off in
hmm.
abducting Sita or tormenting other women and the sages. So that's very surprising that he was cherry picking certain things that he would follow and certain things he would not. The second uh, comment or question is did Hanuman, maybe I read somewhere that Hanuman had a boon from Agni Deva that Agni would not uh, trouble him,
Yeah,
but yet
I am sure it is there. I didn't say it. Uh, when we go to Uttarakanda, or the list of demigods will say how they will protect Hanumanji. Sorry, did you finish your thought?
no, I was just saying that it's very nice that in spite of the boon, his thoughts were going to Lord Ramachandra and Mother Sita, and he was having that gratitude that it is because of their mercy that he is not feeling the effect of heat.
He's not arrogant. Ha, I have this boon. He's not arrogant like that at all. Let's go back to the earlier statement. Ravana is cherry picking depending on what is convenient for him, what makes him look good as in his own eyes. When he is abducting and raping and taking away all these women princesses from all over the universe, others would not approve. He got cursed. Even when Maricha told him, don't take Sita Devi, he didn't listen. But the words of Vibhishana were so fantastic that this is called in Samadana Danda Veda. Sama is such expertly told to Ravana that the sages, the Brahmanas, Shastra will not approve. It somehow went into that, yeah, I should look good in the universe. But when it comes to lust, there is no stopping. Nothing can stop Ravana. Okay, anyone else? Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Agni, yeah, go ahead. Someone else wanted to say something. I'll wait. Scorpion. Somebody wants to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, just a couple of points I was just thinking about is the discussion on the tolerance part that you have explained. It is like this the lesson. I mean, like for me, one of the take-home message is like how to turn the inconveniences into an opportunity of service. And you for pointing it out. And the second thing, I was just thinking about like few chapters back, around chapter 28 or so, we heard like how Mother Sita was like unable to bear the separation from Lord Ramachandra. And she even thinks of ending the life. Despite like, even in that situation, she didn't pray for herself for any kind of help, except remembering Lord Ramachandra. But when Hanuman was in this situation, that might hurt him, she immediately starts using all her pious, whatever things, just to uh, get Hanuman rid of this inconvenience. I mean, that's amazing, like the compassion and the gratitude part that you are emphasizing. I mean,
Yeah.
just a thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for picking it up and saying it back so nicely. We don't have time. I was going to tell you about Agni Deva, but we'll do it next week. So here's a question. Will Hanuman have to pay for killing innocent Rakshasas? No. This is a state of war. They have put his tail on fire. They have they've declared war. And in war, those rules don't apply. Now, the same Hanumanji wants to chastise and hurt the Rakshasis who are tormenting Sita Devi. And at that time, Sita Devi says, that's not the right thing to do. Because what are they doing? They're just following the orders of their master, just as we are all following the orders of our master. So it would not be right. But in war, and there's no innocent Rakshasa. They're all following Ravana knowingly. And when there is war, then they're not innocent because there is Vibhishana, whose behavior has been contrasted very differently. So no, the answer is no. Now, what I'm going to leave all of us with a meditation is about Vibhishana. Such an amazing person, but his part's going to come later, many chapters later. But it's important to start meditating on Vibhishana. When was Vibhishana? Because Ramachandra asks Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan, others, whether or not Vibhishana should be accepted. And except for Hanuman, everyone else says, no, don't. And they have their reasons for it. Ramachandra is also hearing them, but he is, in his mind, already decided that he is going to give Vibhishana shelter. But there is some history that strengthens that conviction. The history is way back when they were in Panchavati, they had met Shurpanaka. And go back to those lectures if you can and see what Shurpanaka said. She introduces herself. I'm the sister of the great demon Ravana, the powerful, mighty Kumbhakarna, and that useless Dharmatma called Vibhishana. Is no good in the family. So Shurpanaka has given a certificate that Vibhishana is the Dharmatma. He is the black sheep of the family. Sita Devi has given her mercy to Vibhishana. Ramachandra doesn't directly know this, but no mercy can come without the grace of Sita Devi. Hanumanji has met and heard Vibhishana saying, don't kill Hanuman. It's going to get reported back to Ramachandra, directly or indirectly. So Vibhishana's good character is being highlighted in different ways without saying it directly. This is called Dhvani. And all of that leads to Ramachandra accepting him when he shows up there defying his brother Ravana. So the role that Vibhishana plays is so fantastic. He has offered a service to this great devotee by sparing his life, or by making or convincing Ravana to spare the life of Hanumanji. What a service he has done to a Vaishnava. And that, what is the benefit of it? He gets the lotus feet of Sri Ramachandra. Okay, so thank you very much. Have a wonderful week of meditation on these great, great personalities, Sri Hanuman, Sri Sita Devi, Vibhishana, and the wonderful character of Sri Ramachandra. May the week pass in a way that as we go through difficulties, challenges of life, that we take the time to use our faculty of offering well-wishing for the great acharyas, our spiritual masters, those who are traversing through the planet, taking upon so much inconvenience upon themselves, almost like their tail is on fire. That they are moving from one city to another, one place to another, from one situation to another, simply trying to turn the very adamant living entity slightly towards the Supreme Lord. And since that journey, that service is fraught with envy, hatred, negligence, heckling, teasing, disrespect. I mean, imagine a pure soul sitting in an economy class, moving about with others as if he's one of them. He's not. So not just he, but such great, great persons offering that service. And for us, who are all beneficiaries, who have benefited from that great action, or that great gesture of compassion, that we offer prayers for their safety. We offer prayers for their protection, and we offer prayers for them to make their service even more glorious. So the phrase was Shito Bhava Hanumata. जय श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, वाल्मीकि ऋषि की जय.